We are live here at the Melbourne Pavilion and we welcome you all to Night 1! I am Sean Thomas alongside Ben Rosenthal.
Sean, absolutely great here to be at the Melbourne Pavilion for this, the 20th anniversary of World Series Wrestling. A plethora of the past, present and future has passed through these very doors and competed in that very ring, and I am honoured to be here tonight to kick off this 20th anniversary tour.
We are going to see all the titles on the line tonight. I cannot wait to see by the end of this tour who is going to be holding the World Series Wrestling heavyweight title, the women's title, the tag team title, all that and more tonight and beyond. I cannot wait. Hold on. This feels like a World Series Wrestling tradition at this point. Of course, we are going to be starting the proceedings off with Matt Cardona. Ben, I guess, take it from here.
Well, I would take it from here, but this man's aura speaks for itself. The indie god, Matt Cardona, has once again graced us with his awe-inspiring presence. This man has won more championships than anyone in the history of ever. Did you know that's an absolute fact?
Look, one thing I do know is that standing right behind Matt Cardona is Lena Kross. Lena Kross, who we will see in action later on tonight. But at least for now, Matt Cardona, you have to wonder, what business does he have in the ring here? We know he's not going for the heavyweight title.
Whoa! Just pull it back there a bit there, Sean. What business does he have? Sorry, that man never lost the World Series Wrestling Championship, did he? So why doesn't he have it now?
There are many other people at the table. He's at the back of the line at this point, and look, he has an entire tour to prove that he can step to the front of the line and go once again for that World Series Wrestling heavyweight title.
He's about to talk. Quiet.
Sydney. I love Sydney. We're in Melbourne. I fucking hate Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, Australia fucking sucks. Don't boo me because you chose to live here. Boo yourselves. Show us some respect, okay? Get on your feet and show us some respect! Shut up! We want Chelsea! Shut up! We want Chelsea! We want Chelsea! Shut up! We want Chelsea! Oh, you want Chelsea, huh? You want Chelsea, huh? Well, I'm the only one who gets the fucker every single night. And Chelsea Green is not here. By my side, I am the tallest bitch on the Indies, Lena Kross. You're not from Melbourne, are you? No, because Melbourne fucking sucks. You know what else sucks? The fact that I am no longer the World Series Wrestling Champion. I am the real World Series Wrestling World Champion. It is a travesty. It is a travesty that I am not the champion. It's an even bigger travesty that Nic Nemeth is the champion. And it's an even bigger travesty that I'm not in the main event tonight. You know what? If I'm not in the main event, I don't want to wrestle tonight. If I'm not going to wrestle tonight, I might as well get the hell out of Australia and go back to the greatest country in the world, the
want to compete for the title at this point. He wants to head off back to America. Hold on.
I think you find, Sean, it's about knowing your worth, knowing your value. And Matt Cardona knows exactly how important he is to the wrestling scene.
Oh, you talk about value, you talk about worth. We are now seeing live and in living color the World Series Wrestling debut of the Maharaja, Dhesi, here live in Melbourne.
Now the cameras cannot do this man justice. He is huge. He's like, what, 6'5"?
Behemoth of a man has been running roughshed over the past 12 months or so. A year free to decimate oppositions and find new opportunities created for himself, such as coming down here for this World Series Wrestling Tour.
Cardona, that's called respect. First you give it, and then you get it back. Cardona, last time I checked, there's only one world champion in this ring, and it is you. So you want to talk about the World Series of Wrestling Championship, the WSW Championship? Well, you have a 6'5", 255 pounds. That's 116 kilos. Standing in your way back, Cardona. So tonight, you get to be the Maharaja's bitch. No, I'm not doing this. There's no way I'm resting you tonight. There's absolutely no way. You know what? First of all, I am not a bitch. Chelsea's bitch. You want to ask that? You're on. But I want a condition. Street fight. Who wants to see a Melbourne City street fight? I can't fucking hear you. You're on, Cardona. Later tonight, you become the Maharaja's bitch.
May as well call him the Melbourne Maharaja now, firmly backed by the people. He has accepted the challenge by Matt Cardona to make this match tonight a street fight that we are going to see later on. Matt Cardona, Dhesi.
And if you're not live in Melbourne, as we are, as we watch this amazing spectacle which is about to unfold before us, where can we see it live?
That's it. If you are wanting to look for it live, you can find us on Triller TV. We are on for every night of the tour through Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Sydney. 4 nights for Matt Cardona to prove that he indeed should have another shot and can hold the WSW World Heavyweight title.
Sorry, you mean one night for Matt Cardona to prove it, then get a title shot, and then basically just run rampant over everything. I agree. Well done, Sean. Well put.
Well, you know what? From one title to another, the WSW Australian champion Shigehiro Irie will also be defending his title, I think, very, very soon, Ben.
Yeah, and I remember from Adelaide show last year, it was an absolute spectacle seeing that man in action. But speaking of spectacles and people in action, let's get started with our first match this evening.
You want to talk about a formidable opponent to test yourself as a champion? Caveman Ugg!
You know the one thing that confuses me most about Caveman Ugg? He doesn't wear boots. Where are Caveman Ugg's boots?
More feet to stomp you with, I guess, and if there's one thing you do not want to be in the path of, that is that, what, size 12, 13, 14, and massive feet for a massive man.
We've got to stop talking about Feet Down. That's another website that we're not associated with.
You have to remember the last time that Melbourne was graced with the presence of Shigehiro Irie, that is where he won the WSW Australian Championship against TJP in an absolute classic of a match. Shigehiro in the last year, hell, in this year alone, has already put 50 matches under his belt across 21 promotions. He has gathered experience upon experience in country, across country, and now we have the pleasure of having him back here in World Series Wrestling once again.
Not only that, Sean, but he's also defended the WSW Australian Championship not only in Australia, but in Japan and in Taiwan. He's taken that title all around the world and defending it with the honor that it deserves.
You're going to see an absolutely fast-paced, smash-mouth style here. Two behemoths, two juggernauts. And the thing about both these men is you are going to see flips, moonsaults, sentons. There's really nothing that these two men cannot do. Absolutely impressive athletes in their own right.
Yeah, I'm no physicist by any means, although I've often been confused by one. But these two men of this size should not be able to move like they do. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, you are in for an absolute spectacle of a match here tonight.
This is match one of the night here. Shigehiro Irie defending the World Series Wrestling Australian Championship against Caveman Oog. Look at the size difference there. As impressive, and as we talked about both these men being impressive, it's very odd to see Shigehiro being almost dwarfed by this man. I didn't notice it until they're in the ring together, but the Caveman is huge. Of his career has already wrestled well over 2,000 matches. Over 2,100 matches to be exact. Let that sink in for a moment. Already the wealth of knowledge that is inside the champion.
I mentioned before Caveman Oog was the hometown favourite, and the crowd is certainly letting Shigehiro know about that.
Between these two men, there are 34 years of experience. If you combine their two illustrious careers together, this is going to be, I cannot wait. What a way to start off the Legacy Tour. This is 20 years of World Series Wrestling. And we start with this title bout. I really don't think either men are going to be giving an inch at this point. There's no way you can intimidate each other. It's just not going to happen, Ben.
We all know where this is headed. Big meaty men slapping meat. There we go!
I have to question. Oh! Neither man giving an inch here. Huge shoulder tackles. You can hear reverberating around the pavilion. Hero coming for a bit of momentum, and still the Caveman not even budging, Ben. Oh my God!
Knocking down Shigehiro. It appears the big man, well, the bigger man has it this time.
I think we may have answered the power game here tonight. You are going fist for fist, strength for strength against Caveman. You may need to rethink your game plan. Coming forward. here. Heading up top.
We're not even a minute into the match yet, and already we've got a top row move coming.
Shigehiro,
Surely not.
you can see there with his right arm, he is holding on for dear life. That is the only thing preventing him as the caveman is trying to will his opponent off the top. Massive headbutt from the champion. And this is exactly what Shigehiro needs to do. And you notice now that the test of strength has concluded. This pace has now softened. It has become a lot slower, a lot more methodical, as each man now just trying to chop away at each other, literally and metaphorically here.
Sean, do you think if you were chopped by either one of these men, your pace would be anything less than snail's crawl?
Oh, I wouldn't be alive, to be honest with you.
I'd probably have to capture my soul first, put it back in my body before I could continue the match.
And of course, remembering that this is not a street fight like we'll see later on tonight between Cardona and the Maharaja himself. This indeed still has 10 counts in effect. Both these men need to get back in the ring. At least if K-Man wants to grab that title tonight.
I was just about to say the title can't change hands on disqualification. So if Shigehiro is in trouble like he is after that splash, you might want to think about just walking outside and getting the DQ. But then again, that's not the type of champion Shigehiro is.
Again, the man has already put in 50 matches this year alone. We are barely into 2025. I have to say, out of anyone, this tour might actually benefit the champion. Hold on here. Trying to bring him up. Potentially looking for that splash mounted bomb there. Shigehiro, the champion, he had a scouted back body drop. This is a crucial moment for the champion. Again, K-Man just seems to be one step ahead at this point.
Caught him.
Looking to do an STO from the apron there.
Oh.
And almost.
Oh, the ref lucky to get out of the way there.
It's a springboard squat straight onto the challenger. Shigehiro. Flabbergasted, dumbfounded, flustered. That is the thing with this kind of matches. It is a war of attrition, but you have to allow yourself not to get stressed out, not to get frustrated, not to get angry, to be able to channel that emotion into your opponent.
Well, don't talk about channeling your emotion. I think Shigehiro has, I don't know if it's stubbornness, I don't know if it's the ring-wise ability he has, but he seems to be trying to stick to his power game. He looks like he's trying to wrestle how he usually wrestles, and sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes in the middle of the match, you have to change your tactic. But a lot of what he's doing is working against Caveman Hug at the moment.
Look, it's not something that he shouldn't do, but it's something that he should be able to do. A moonsault by Caveman Hug. But you're exactly right. This is the kind of thing where you have to understand what is being a proud defending champion and what is being purely stubborn. You have to make sure that you don't become your own enemy in this sort of match. It might work. That power game, that ferocity absolutely worked wonders for Shigehiro.
Oh my goodness, he threw him halfway across the ring, Sean.
Against the former champion, TJP, and it's not going to work against the Caveman. Caveman Hug coming again. Good lord.
That's it. We got a new champion. No!
Is that a twisting crossbody?
That was a big kick out really early on. And he's got
Lifting him up!
Oh, Samoan drop, that's it!
Come up!
Oh!
One! Both men up their feet!
Oh my God!
Just like that, down again!
I think the crowd's saying it all.
We are not even half an hour into night one of the Legacy Tour. Reverberating around the pavilion, this is awesome. WSW Australian Championship on the line. Almost taking both men out again, out on their knees at this point.
Both struggling to get to their feet, trying to get that early advantage. Shigehiro manages the first strike, but Hug returns with a big old chop straight across the chest of Shigehiro.
And you remember, towards the beginning of this match, we had this slugfest, this tete-a-tete of forearm against forearm, but now, with 5-10 minutes of absolutely ferocious offense, I was about to say they're slowing down, but now they're quickening up once again.
It's that rush of adrenaline, Sean. It does funny things when you're in that ring.
See Shigehiro just posturing, inviting the chops. This is becoming nasty.
And the World Series Wrestling Australian Championships up for grabs, Sean. You have to give it your all. You have to put everything in. You have to leave nothing in the ring.
When in doubt, launch yourself at your opponent. No care for yourself, just launch yourself. Is he looking for that beast bomber? No, spear! It's a big man down! 2.5! Shigehiro, Irie has a moment here. Now he's calling for it. The Beast Bomber, Ben. It's coming. No,
it is not.
Countered with that boulder smash. Stop.
And a very, very, very close 2 count.
Oh my God.
Oh
my
no.
God. You know where we're going? We're heading on a tour, Ben. Tour of the Caves incoming. Maybe taking a little bit to... Wait a minute!
Roll through!
No!
They got it!
No!
No! Referee's calling. Is it
2.99!
Wow! Caveman Hug saved by the skin of his teeth.
A bit of confusion here.
Caveman Hug's repeating.
Oh my God! Down and dirty!
And you gotta believe this is it now.
Beast Bomber! Good Lord! He hasn't even come off his feet! Ben, the Caveman has taken 2 Beast Bombers. We are looking for a third. 1, 2, 3!
Oh.
And if there was controversy before, it is fact now. Shigehiro Irie earned every second of that victory.
I'm gonna tell you, after that first blow and that first kick out, you could see Caveman wasn't all there. He was appealing to the audience. He was appealing to the ref. You could tell that he just wasn't with it, and Shigehiro pounced on that opportunity and put him away and retains the World Series Wrestling Australian Championship.
Massive kudos to the champion for staying cool under pressure, not letting that near fall, the supposed 3, get the better of him, simply stayed on the attack, smelled blood in the water, pounced again and again, saw that he ate that beast bomber and it hit him again, and that's why this man is your champion again.
You do have to give kudos to Caveman Oak though. What a performance here tonight from that man. My man? Or what's a caveman?
He's a man from another time.
Right.
And there we go, a show of respect here from champion to Caveman Og. What a showing from these two. What an electric start here to the Legacy Tour.
You see Caveman there, still a little bit wobbly on his feet. And understandably so, frankly.
This is just the first defense for Shigehiro Irie.
This is the first match of the WSW 20th anniversary. What a way to kick it off. And there is so much more to come, not only tonight, but for the next 4 nights all across Australia.
Yeah, that is just match 1 here. We take a look once more at that Beast Bomber, the 3rd one that finally took Caveman off his feet and finally solidified the 3 count there.
But right now, we are going to be in for a treat as Santana Garrett has joined World Series Wrestling here at the Melbourne Pavilion.
And we are going to be seeing her opponent again. Of course, we saw Lena Kross at the top of the hour here. Santana Garrett has spent time in WWE for a number of years, is currently in WOW, now finding her way in WSW, has been spending a lot of time all around the world playing her craft for years upon years.
Former Shine champ, former Shine tag team champion, and Wonder of Stardom champ.
Hell, 2nd generation wrestler, somebody who understands purely what this business is about and what it takes to be a success.
And speaking of success, here comes one of Australia's biggest successes.
Lena Kross, who has aligned herself with Matt Cardona over the last year or so here. And of course, a win from either of these two could very much put themselves in contention for the Women's Championship at the moment, held by Elegance, but of course it's the nature of the tour. Things are changing constantly. You could be a champion one night, head over to Brisbane the next day, and it's someone else. Number 1 contendership does not mean that you know what your matchup is tomorrow. Lena Kross, the last time we saw her in an absolutely hellacious match against Elegance for the Women's Championship.
The Lego, Sean, do you remember the Lego? Notice I said Lego, no S.
Lego is correct. Of course, has had a year to think about it, to let those scars heal, to pick the bricks off of her back. And again, a victory here could put you straight into contention.
Lena out there telling the audience it's going to be over quick. And that's one thing I admire about Lena, this statuesque wrestling perfectionist, I'm going to say it. She oozes confidence. No matter who she's in the ring with, it doesn't matter. Lena knows she's got your number.
And why wouldn't you? Lena Kross, an individual who was trained by Mana the Polynesian Warrior, who was trained by Arthur himself. So there is stories to be told, there's lessons to be learned that are passed down generation to generation to this woman standing before us.
Lena Kross showing that confidence there. Maybe a little bit of arrogance, but a little bit of arrogance is a good thing. It builds confidence, it increases confidence, and confidence wins you matches.
We're now going to see as Santana takes the waist lock here. Simple Matt Gaiman managing to get away from the strikes, but now taking back control here, Santana. Snapmare! Coming through with the kick. Well place and now going for a quick roll up here. Almost had it over. A minute into the affair.
Again.
The cradle again, and you can see now going for a crucifix. Pin attempt after pin attempt. Every single time, Kross has to exert more energy to kick out.
I was about to say the very same thing there, Sean. A quick match is a good match, especially on a 4-day tour like this. Santana making Lena kick out, exudes that energy, wears her down, and when you're up against someone with the talent of Lena Kross, you're going to need it. However, Santana's now finding out what Lena does very, very well. And most of that stuff she does very, very well goes to the head. Back of the head, side of the head, front of the face.
Right now in the ropes, so you have to be careful to break it up before that 5 count, unless she wants to suffer a disqualification. Lena Kross, as much as she has been trained by some of the greats, she's also obviously gotten a lot of tutoring, a lot of advice from the complete Matt Cardona. You cannot spend a year with that man and not pick up a few things along the way. Look at that, just simply...
Is she chewing gum? Is this just a walk in the park for Lena Kross? She's just kicking ass and chewing gum? Lena Kross is my new favourite, I've just decided.
Garrett struggling to break the grip, simply wasn't able to. That size and strength difference. Lena Kross has to be well over 6 foot. Oh, well-placed shots to the midsection.
And answered in kind to, again, a punch to the back of the head. You know, you give someone a concussion, they can't really wrestle. Good strategy.
Now again, taking liberal use of that 5 count here.
No, that's smart, Sean. That's smart. You've got a 5 count. Why not use it?
It does wear down your opponent. And now the long legs of Lena Kross. The big boot straight across the throat.
Big boot, and also she was holding onto those ropes, making it taunted.
Oh my goodness, breaking the eyes across as well. Lena Kross, you're right, Ben, using every inch of this ring to her advantage.
And the crowd sitting here in silence because they know what they're watching. An absolute demolition of our visiting competitor.
Lena Kross, the last time she was wrestling in a ring was all the way over in Japan. She's made her way back to Australia for this match. Coming through that hard-hitting style that absolutely would have rubbed off on her. Oh, or just a straight slap to the face, that works as well.
And look at the smile. Oh my goodness.
Good grief. Dragging her opponent up by her hair. Just the confidence that Lena Kross has exuded from the moment she stepped out. Here at the Melbourne Pavilion, again, we are live on Triller TV. Night 1 of the Legacy Tour.
Back ahead again in my tell, Sean. She is out to damage either the neck or, as I said before, get a concussion. You give someone a concussion in the first match, you're not going to have to worry about them for the rest of the series.
That's it, one less person potentially in title contention. Of course, we know later on tonight the World Series Wrestling Women's Championship will be on the line. It may not even be Ash by Elegance before tonight is over. It might be Jessica Troy. Oh!
Big super kick.
You know, both those women are watching this match intently from the back. Hold on, say her name and she appears.
Don't do that. Jessica Troy is out here.
Oh!
Causing a quick distraction. Lena Kross managed to get a super kick for the cover.
Blink and you miss it. Oh well. Words from Jessica Troy. Santana looked away for but a moment. And that is all it took for Lena to take advantage here.
Before that, the other word.
What is Jessica Troy doing out here? She's come out from the back.
She's scouting future opponents. I mean, that's smart, if you ask me.
Surely she can do that from the back.
No, well, you know as well as I do, Sean, there's nothing beats watching it live.
Well, in any case, Kross has definitely taken on this advantage as a result. Now, unfortunately, I think might be taking a little bit too much time, which is going to allow Santana at least a moment to regain her breath, potentially try and mount a comeback, or maybe...
Lena Kross getting frustrated now. Yes, Santana was getting her breath back, but so was Lena.
Wrenching back. Now straight in the middle of the ring. Santana is well far from being able to break this hold here. It's whether she has the strength to be able to muscle out as she starts to will herself back to her feet. Oh! Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be effective.
Words I live by.
Jessica Troy still on the outside, cheering on. Lena Kross in this match against Santana. Garrett potentially looking there. Oh, that cross breaker. Hold on.
Reverse elbow setting up. Lena doesn't know she's coming in again. Another kick to the head.
Didn't learn the first time. He's still coming forward once again.
Lena a little punch drunk, about to get a little bit more drunk.
Santana having every single bit of this offense scouted.
Oh!
Once again, now a boot. How many shots can Kross take to the head here?
And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Lena's looking in trouble. Santana up top.
Kross looking out, cross body, perfectly executed.
Couldn't manage to hook the leg for the pin, so rolled through.
Springboard back elbow, wanting to ensure the victory here. Wasn't going to take it down to chance.
Side Russian.
Russian next week. See the combination of moves there, looking to string a bunch of offense to ensure that Kross can stay down to the 3. Unfortunately, it is going to take more than that. Here is the thing. You give a little bit too much time, Kross will come back better and stronger. She simply will not stay down.
Well, it's not so much staying down. Lena Kross has got long limbs. She's got more distance between her and her opponent. So, therefore, they have to work harder to get to her. You can't afford to let her get that distance, otherwise she's going to win the fight every time.
Now, so you see now Santana have to pick your spots about when to come in close. Hold on. Front suplex. Oh my God! Dirty knee straight to the front.
Oh.
Straight into the nose of Santana.
Lena can't believe it, and quite honestly, neither can I.
Nose could be broken.
I mean, that scream she just let out my eardrums certainly are.
And Kross simply cannot allow the emotions to get the better of her. She needs to stay on her opponent, and now we might be looking for the cross breaker. She signaled, has it set up. Rolling through. Santana straight back on the offense. What a wild haymaker. 1, 2. 2 count in this match still goes on. Both women giving their all. I can't see her, but I am sure Jessica Troy is still somewhere on the outside.
Lena just running in, trying to create that distance again.
And you can see Santana now trying to stay in really close to her opponent, not allow her that moment to breathe. Shades of stratisfaction there from Santana. Garrett coming up, springboard, hold on! Jessica Troy getting herself involved. That is not just pure scouting, Ben. That is blatant interference from the arm collector.
Let's see what the ref has to say. Oh, didn't see it, that's fine.
Now looks like we're heading towards, oh my God, the crossbreaker indeed, and that is it.
Lena Kross walks away with the victory, and you have to think it's getting closer and closer to a title match.
With help from Jessica Troy, Lena Kross comes out with a victory. Nevertheless, it will put a win in her column, and that is something that Ash by Elegance, the champion, is absolutely taking notice of. We have 3 nights left of his tour.
You know what I like seeing, Sean? I like seeing Australians looking out for each other, teaming up against a common foe, and that's that's what we've got here. We've got two really great friends just coming together for the world and for the betterment of wrestling.
Oh, my heart is just 3 times the size. It's warmed up.
You should probably get a doctor to look at that. It's not healthy.
You know, there's so much more coming up in store. We also have a first time ever match coming up. We are going to be seeing Danhausen going one-on-one with Sidney Akeem right here at the Melbourne Pavilion, Ben.
I cannot wait.
This match, it might be great, but one thing it will definitely be is very nice and very evil.
Guaranteed. Danhausen welcoming us.
What in the world is in his hand? You know, forget I asked. Could be anything.
Could be anything. Could be anything. Could it be Vegemite?
Could be a curse.
A Vegemite curse. Everything you eat from now on tastes like Vegemite. Can you imagine that curse? I'd love that curse.
The problem we have here, Ben, is you have an absolute anomaly in Danhausen. I don't even know how this man is going to be fighting over the next 5 minutes against one of the most physically impressive and physically creative men that I've seen. A former Cirque du Soleil performer in Sidney Akeem. That Akeem said, and I quote, the start of something new, something legendary, something that you haven't seen before, the future of this business. It's the very first time that these two men have faced each other inside the ring. There aren't titles on the line. This isn't necessarily a #1 contendership, but what this is an audition in itself. Show the higher-ups why they should be putting you in title contention, why you should be putting forward to carry this company into the next wave of competitors.
The next 20 years of World Series Wrestling. Split crowd here. We've got some Danhausen chants and we've got some Akeem chants as well.
Honestly, I think Akeem might just be able to flip out of the way of any potential curses. This man is unreal.
Flip out of the way. Sean, leave the punch to me, please.
Here we go. Starting off strong. Headlock from Akeem. A bit of
working those joints. Danhausen now with the advantage.
Yeah, surprisingly, a bit of chain wrestling to start proceedings here. Headlock pushed off. No! The strength of Danhausen. Headlock takedown by Akeem. Shocking amount of boos I'm hearing from this Melbourne crowd. And then the house of Danhausen.
Danhausen?
Come here.
Oh, shoulder block. What the heck? Wow.
Oh, wait. Right back to his feet here.
Bit of an early celebration.
You can listen to this crowd firmly behind.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Wait.
No, surely not. Not this early. No, surely not.
Wait!
Oh,
I told you!
he flipped
I
out of
told
it.
you!
How? How did you know that? How did you know that?
The only way to defeat a curse is to nip up your way out of it, or bring the ref into it. What is going on? For Danhausen, this is very sound strategy. Keep Sidney, Akeem close to you. Don't let him get any air. Don't let him get any sort of distance.
Well, yeah, keep him on the ground, which I think may have failed.
How exactly do you keep that man on the ground is the problem.
How can you keep him on the ground where you think you know where he is, and then a split second later he's on the other side, upside down?
I feel like Danhausen might fly around the ring more so than he usually does. It'll be simply because of his opponent.
What the?
Oh my goodness!
Such a unique offense. Sidney Akeem now has the crowd back on side with that amazing athletic display.
Exactly what Danhausen wants to avoid. They're coming forward. The man just flips for a living every day. Oh! Well-placed strike there to the sternum. To a down Danhausen.
Sidney now going up top, perhaps wanting to hit that high impact move and get this over and done with.
Oh, no!
He got him! Danhausen was playing possum and he threw the curse on Sidney.
Danhausen is a possum curse. Akeem had nefarious things in mind, but so did Danhausen.
Do you know why that is? He's very nice, but he's very not nice.
Now Danhausen again has to be careful. He has to be nice enough to get off before that 5 count.
Danhausen now asking the ref to throw it out.
Asking him if he can throw him out.
Oh, asking permission. Well, that's nice.
Oh, wait.
Oh, cursing the ref.
Almost cursing the referee.
Yeah. Nobody is safe.
Now the action spilling to the outside here. Again! Shrek meets Danhausen. Is he asking for advice or is he just explaining what he's doing?
I think he's just letting him know. Oh.
Chops straight to the tattooed sternum of Danhausen. Oh, or he just has to be careful. Taking a photo, why not? Well-placed shot to the head. Danhausen now stalking his opponent. Asking for a bit more time, I think.
Oh, just checking the time. I think a lot of people underestimate Danhausen, truth be told. He's been in this business a long time. He knows the rules well. And yes, all right, he might have a peculiar type of ring presence, but he knows how to play the rules to his advantage. And what more can you ask for of a wrestler of Danhausen's unique physicality?
Yeah. And psychology. This is the other thing as well, is that whether or not you believe in anything that Danhausen is doing, you are not prepared for it. I do not know how you prepare for a wrestler like Danhausen. How do you prepare for just Danhausen in general?
Lots of jelly, I'm told. Jelly, sure.
At least for now, Akeem is preparing by... Listen. Oh, striking back here, trying to mount some offense.
I think he was trying to remove that tattoo on his chest by force.
Now we are back into the ring. Pinfalls and submissions are legal to occur. Jawbreaker from Danhausen again. Now on his opponent here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh! 10!
10?
10. That was 10.
Okay.
8, 9, 10. My primary school German coming into play here. 2, and unfortunately no. And notice here, besides that early onslaught, Akeem hasn't really been able to mount any significant offense here.
And I don't know if you saw that, Sean, but Akeem was signaling to the ref his lower back. And I mean, if your lower back is spent, if your lower back is being targeted, like it has been by Danhausen, you're not doing a lot of flippy flips.
Exactly it. Danhausen really making sure to target the back here of Sidney Akeem. Wonderful Northern Lights suplex. Really taking away the high-flying game of his opponent. Clothesline Bulldog combination.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
Now Danhausen taking to the skies potentially. Well, maybe not. Taking a boot to the face for his troubles. And this is an opportunity for Sidney Akeem. Coming forth, no! German!
Oh, wow. Swift.
Danhausen largely controlling this entire match here this evening.
That's that jar-like container again, Sean.
What is it? Does that count as a foreign object? This is my issue here. He has to be careful. Sidney Akeem is careful. Come through, roundhouse kick. Danhausen's out. Man's gone.
Sidney Akeem not at 100%, which you can understand, but I've never seen him move so sluggishly. It appears Danhausen has taken more out of him than he initially thought.
Danhausen has done an absolutely solid job of grounding Sidney Akeem, ensuring that the signature maneuvers he is known for simply cannot be employed.
Second win now, coming out firing, spinning back kick, chops to the middle section.
Coming forward, slide through, Akeem! Spinning cross body! Now fighting, oh my God! Oh! This is where Akeem wants to be, right here. What he has been waiting for, and now he has solely given himself enough time to build that distance, head to the top rope. Coming to the skies!
Whoa!
2!
And a kick out!
Massive crossbody to Danhausen, who still manages to get a shoulder up.
Danhausen's perseverance is what keeps him in so many matches, and we saw a prime example of it there. He just won't give up.
That's it. Akeem, and again, using that
Catches him.
unique offense, but now the final cut employed. Danhausen again on the offense, again the dominant factor here tonight. Well, oh no! What is that? It's a victory. No, it's not.
I think they're teeth, Sean.
Oh my God.
I think they're teeth.
Oh my God, you're right. Akeem took some teeth, took a knee, and still said no. Why has he got teeth?
Because he's a dentist, Hausen.
Looking for the very nice, very Neville. Akeem having it scouted. Honestly, what that does to a man, knowing that you swallowed some teeth.
Have you ever had a dream where like your teeth are like in your mouth and they're just falling out?
Oh my God. Danhausen might have one to add to the collection just there.
I mean, Akeem just experienced that in real life.
Oh! Both men just a smash mouth style, knocking tooth after tooth out. Danhausen proclaiming no more. Wait a minute!
Oh!
Yes! Yes! He flipped the script!
And that's it. Whoa. I'm exhausted just from watching that.
Akeem backflips twice on the spot, like a glitching video game character coming away with that cutter out of nowhere.
Akeem starting this tour strong.
Honestly, I'm glad that a man who just had to swallow a full set of teeth, they can at least come away with a victory here tonight. Danhausen, I think, is done. Or is he?
Show of respect. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Show of respect between two amazing athletes here at World Series Wrestling.
And look, I know we have a street fight coming up, but we're probably still going to have to clear the ring from the myriad, I'm going to say, multiple people's team. Look at this again. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's insane.
Coming up, the gauntlet was thrown down in just moments. We are going to see Matt Cardona going one-on-one against the Maharaja. And it is going to be street fight rules bet.
Amazing. I personally hope we'll see a gauntlet.
Raj Dhesi, he was the one who put forth the single match between the two, but it was Cardona who suggested no disqualification.
Smart. You're coming up against a legitimate tower of power like Raj Dhesi. You want every advantage that you can get, and the only way to get an advantage against a man of that stature is to use weapons.
And the problem that I'm envisioning here for Raj Dhesi, which I'm not sure if he is factored into account here, is that Matt Cardona has a second plan. He has a third plan. He has a fourth plan. There are people upon people that can come at a moment's notice, and we're in street fight rules. As you say, anything goes.
Matt Cardona plays 4D chess.
These two men have only met 3 other times over the last 12 years. So far in singles competition, they've faced 3 other times. Matt Cardona is up 2-1.
And the stats speak for themselves, and I can see those stats increasing on Matt Cardona's behalf in tonight's match. I cannot believe we're seeing a street fight. This is, I'm actually blown away by this.
Matt Cardona, no stranger.
I mean, he's the king of hardcore. Did you know that, Sean?
He's the deathmatch king. Also a former NWA champion, just like Raj Dhesi is a former WWE champion. The accolades of both these men speak for themselves.
You'll notice only one man's holding a belt there, Sean.
You mean the championship that was created by Matt Cardona for Matt Cardona?
It's the Internet Championship. And what's the Internet? Information. Who controls the information controls the world. Matt Cardona controls the world. Simple as that. It's just maths, Sean.
Well, conspiracies aside, the one thing we know for certain here is we are about to head forth into a street fight here. Matt Cardona, Raj Dhesi, potentially championship ramifications heading forward on the tour.
Potentially, I'd say absolutely. Who wouldn't want either of these absolute specimens of wrestlers vying for the top title? If I was Adrian Manara sitting at home or sitting in the stands watching this, I'd be thinking either of these guys would make me money. People are coming to see them with the shiny belt around their waist, especially 20 years on.
And I will say this, as you no doubt pointed out the very first time we saw him come out, it is hard to fully understand the size of the Maharaja. As you said, 6'5". The man towers over Matt Cardona,
And Matt
which
Cardona-
knows he's not even that small.
He's 6'2". Smart.
Of course, the thing to remember here is Raj Dhesi can simply come out and follow him. He can take this wherever he wants. We could go into the streets of Melbourne.
I wouldn't do that.
I think now Cardona actually scouting Maharaja up to him. You know what? Pit stop. stop time.
Already.
Maybe collect some of the teeth that have maybe been swept under there.
I think the Maharaja is just checking out what sort of tools are. Of course, that's where, when you're setting up a ring, that's where all the tools go to set up the ring and break it down again after the show. There is a limitless amount of hammers and bins and crocodiles underneath that ring, Sean.
That's it, a multitude of paraphernalia to be utilized, but as Dhesi said, we'll wrestle first. We'll wrestle first, we'll get to that. The full confidence of Raj Dhesi coming to this match, but now he's already had a bit of a scout here, and now we're heading into a slugfest. The other advantage that I will say that Cardona has is, we're looking at a former World Series Wrestling heavyweight champion, two-time heavyweight champion, and a man who is very familiar with Australia, with World Series Wrestling. This is essentially his backyard.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Straight out the ring once again.
Timeout. Timeout. That's fair enough. That's fair. You need timeout. You get timeouts in the wrestling floor.
Not for long though. Seconds count for something, and Raj Dhesi says absolutely not. We're here for some action here.
That's just not fair. You saw him. Matt Cardona called for a timeout. That's almost disgraceful.
And you know what Raj Dhesi said? All right, you've had enough. We are here, Triller TV. We are live at the Melbourne Pavilion. We are here for a street fight.
Oh no. Well, why bother with weapons when you can use the ring steps as one? Lena Kross.
The difference maker here. We talked about people having Cardona's back. Lena Kross. This is giving Cardona ample time. Speaking of the devil, it's exactly what Raj needs to be aware of. Cannot fall into that trap, otherwise you either steal steps.
Raj grabbing his elbow there. I think he went elbow first into that steal.
Chance of you are a wanker for those watching around the world.
No,
it's not exactly a term of endearment.
No, they're saying you are a banker because he's so successful and gets so much money.
Absolutely.
He's called the banker. The banker, Sean.
You know, we have had the first foreign object utilized in this match. That was a full can of beer smashed upon the head of the Maharaja. And there's the rest of it.
Those beers are like $6 each. And Matt Cardona responding with a chair to the midsection.
Potentially a little bit more than $6 each for a chair. Now it's action spilling well and truly into the outside here, almost into the crowd.
What? Crowd chanting pizza box.
It's a pizza box.
Matt Cardona showing it what he thinks. Well, I mean, nothing against the lovely Melbourne crowd, but they're all idiots.
And that's delivery in 30 minutes or less, I guess, with that pizza box.
What's a pizza box going to do? Honestly.
Raj Dhesi crawling back into the ring. Now Cardona taking his time, stalking his opponent. This really is something that I don't know. For all the bravado and all the confidence, Raj Dhesi did not take into account how much this factors into Matt Cardona's favor. Not in the qualifications.
How many death matches has Raj Dhesi been in?
He's been in a Punjabi prison or two. Back body drop
on the stage.
The unforgiving stage there. No padding. Halfway across the ring.
Well, let me remind you, there's no padding on that ring either. You and I have both set up rings in our time. That is a thin. No.
There we go. Speaking of thin layer, the pizza box. And not just any pizza box. The posterior rubbed pizza box.
It's all right, Raj is thinking, oh no.
My God! You see that, Ben? Again!
Doesn't Raj know that he can cause paper cuts?
The pizza box onslaught! No, surely not.
No! Oh God, no!
The box slam!
Matt Cardona can't slam boxes. Chelsea's not here.
Now, Raj Dhesi, oh, I'm skirting past that, Ben. Searching under the ring for more nefarious items at play. What have we got? Is it a bigger pizza box? Is that a plank, a massive wood thing?
A massive wood thing.
A massive wood thing.
Way to earn that paycheck.
Pocket sand.
Yes, of course, the white pocket sand that we're all used to.
Straight into the eyes of the Maharaja. Cardona taking full control. And you can see, unlike earlier, there is no stopping. You can choke out your opponent.
And so can Lena on the side. No rules, no disqualifications in a street fight. That's why Mark Cardona is the thinking man's wrestler.
Raj Dhesi is in trouble here. Potentially blinded for the remainder of this match at the very least. Might not even see it coming. Whip reversal.
Oh.
Cardona though has it spotted. Oh my God, Ben. Cardona in a dangerous predicament. Straight in the danger zone. I think Raj Dhesi finally understands. He finally sees it. Coming for no!
He took too long. He took too long.
Crack and burn.
And then bam! Matt Cardona jumps on opportunity.
Oh,
Oh, he got a kick out.
there is life still rollicking through Raj Dhesi.
You got to believe that was instinct alone. Matt Cardona now ordering Lena Kross to get something from out of the ring. We've got a chair. We've got another chair.
That's it. Cardona directing traffic on the outside. Now Kross helping the complete Matt Cardona to set up some awful intentions here, but again, all perfectly legal. Hold on! Again, Maharaja having it scouted. Oh no, straight into the eyes, the thumbs to the eyes!
Smart, already irritated by that mystical white pocket sand that you said, Sean. Matt Cardona buries his thumbs into the Maharaja's eyes, permanently blinding him. You can't win a match if you can't see, Sean.
That was not even a simple rake of the eyes. He buried those thumbs deep into the sockets. Neck breaker, middle of the ring.
I think it should be over here just for the sake of the Maharaja's well-being. He's still got another 3 nights of wrestling ahead of him. Why would you accept a street fight on night 1?
Against the Deathmatch King, and again, Lena Kross on the outside. Your thoughts on a 2-on-1 affair aside, again, perfectly legal, just like the chair shot to the ribs. Eventually cracking a rib.
You
No
say
matter how
2-on-1.
tall you are.
The Maharaja knew exactly what he was getting into. He knew that Lena Kross and Mark Cardona were a combined package. He shouldn't have accepted a street fight if he wasn't prepared for both of these sensational specimens in the ring.
Cardona taking a moment to bask in the glory, revel in the violence. Hear that, you're nothing, screaming to Dhesi. Wonder what he has planned here. Looking for another solid punch. Hold on!
Oh! Toe drop hold! Matt Cardona smashing his beautiful face into that chair!
Chair 2, set up, heading over!
Oh!
Oh my God! Chair is bent! Bent the wrong way! coming off the ropes, firing through.
I don't know how much more that turnbuckle can take. Maharaja slamming into Matt Cardona. He's got him.
DDT. And now, picking up some steam here.
Maharaja with a chair of his own.
What on earth? What else is under there? I know everything, but what else specifically is under there? I mean, she's trying to unbend the chair.
Oh yeah, 2 for 1. Tough economic times, Sean. You got to be thrifty.
And straighten up that chair is now. Oh, my God. Stacking up the chairs upon the back of Matt Cardona.
Okay, I think enough's enough.
2.
The ref should probably, think about just
3. No disqualification, my friend. Street fight rules, no can do this match.
Safety.
Heads on.
Safety, Sean.
Until a back is broken.
Oh, thank goodness.
Until a pinfall is made.
It looks like the Maharaja. No!
Oh my goodness! Steel upon steel upon steel upon Cardona's back. Lena Kross!
What's he going to do? What are you going to do, Michael?
Saving the match for Matt Cardona there, plain and simple.
It's all legal.
Hold on!
Is that?
It's a Parea!
And the Parea here to save Matt Cardona! And the ref can't do a thing!
Eli Thesis on the right, Gabriel on the left. Here, talked about plan A, plan B. This is now plan C.
The Parea, who recently moved over to America, seem to have taken themselves under the wing of Matt Cardona to learn.
Oh my God. Kanika! One of the most devastating tag teams that World Series Wrestling has ever seen.
Oh, that Australia has seen, I think. And look at this. Nothing warms my heart more than seeing this group of superior wrestlers coming together to defeat a common evil.
All right, calm down. Now again directing traffic here, the tag team champions. Now searching potentially more means what the going under the ring, I believe, once again. It's 4-on-1 in this match, and I understand it's a street fight, it's all illegal.
It's all legal. It's fine. This is fine.
What in the world has Cardona got in store here? What in the world is he conjuring up? Another one! Another wooden thing! Wooden plank here, we've already got, 2 guesses. Here you go, a makeshift table. Cardona, the Parea, Lena Kross, all here.
So this is no longer a match. This is now sending a message. You don't come out and interrupt Matt Cardona. You don't come out and make stupid challenges. Now what's going on here?
And are they heading off? No! Bollywood Boyz coming to the aid of the Maharaja.
What are you guys doing?
Matt Cardona has to fight for himself now. Oh my God.
I don't like where this is going. Where's Lena Kross? There she is. Great.
Heading for a pound. No! Woo! Chair shot to the back. However, bad news for Lena Kross. I don't think that did the trick.
I think it did something, but not what Lena Kross was hoping for.
Lena should probably get out of there. Matt Cardona. Oh! Downstairs. 2.5. Maharaja kicking out. Just.
Slight look of panic there on Lena Kross's face as well as Matt Cardona's. I got to admit, I've got a slight look of panic on my face too. The Internet Championship fell in his hand. This is it.
Here we go. It's still a 2-on-1 affair here. Coming through. No! Oh my God!
No!
Lena Kross eating the Internet Championship. Through the plank. Raj Dhesi overcomes those overwhelming odds.
Overcame, he cheated. You saw the Bollywood boys come out here.
I saw the Bollywood boys coming to finally even up the score, taking away the Parea, the tag team champions, allowing at least more evened odds here.
Well, I don't know what
Maharaja.
match you were watching, Sean, but I sure as heck saw the Bollywood boys come out and interfere in Matt Cardona's plans. This was a street fight. He knew what he was signing up for. The Bollywood boys had no point in being out here.
The Maharaja clearly had a plan of his own. Looking for the colour, once the Parea had been ousted from the ring, and from there it was elementary. There is more to come, Ben, more to come here for night one of the Legacy Tour.
As we see Jessica Troy, part of the rebellion, make her way to the ring for this World Series Wrestling Women's Championship bout.
Yes, a championship held by Elegance at the moment, who defended her title all throughout the Most Wanted Tour, and now the first challenger of the new year in Jessica Troy, an individual who's already made her face and her presence known here tonight, helping Lena Kross to victory, now has her own affairs to sort out as she tries to gather the championship. Will it be the Granola Grappler here tonight?
I'll just correct you there, Sean. She was supporting her teammate, Lena Kross.
Absolutely, absolutely, Ben.
That was a hard... already started. Jessica Troy, not only a PWA Women's Champion, but the current PWA Heavyweight Champion. Not someone to be trifled with, as some of the members of the audience could find out if they don't just shut it.
Jessica Troy, however, does need to think less about the audience and more about the task at hand. We have current TNA prospect Ash by Elegance, who has made a name for herself through the WWE, through TNA, through World Series Wrestling here, and you can see the belt wrapped around her waist is a clear indication of such. Ash by Elegance, our WSW Women's Champion, the first defense of this Legacy Tour here, Ben.
As the camera comes into focus, so does the focus of Jessica Troy line up with that title, because imagine capturing a world championship, not only on this huge stage, this worldwide stage on Triller TV, but on the 20th anniversary of this federation.
It's the beauty of World Series Wrestling is we have wrestlers not only locally but internationally all around the country. We have an international fight on our hands here. Australia v America. The WSW Women's Championship is on the line. The last time Ash by Elegance defended that title was back in Adelaide last year in June in that absolutely hellacious violent street fight with Lena Kross.
Troy still arguing with that audience.
Ash by Elegance dancing with the audience.
It's moving on.
There you see it, championship belt held high in the air. First of 3 championships. First of all 3 titles that are going to be on the line here tonight. It's the first night here in the Melbourne Pavilion.
And we're off in the second half of World Series Wrestling's 20th anniversary with a Women's Championship bout, and Ash by Elegance going up top to get the crowd upped and hyped and into the match.
Jessica Troy is already letting this audience get into her head here.
I don't know if that's the case, Sean. I mean, so anyone who wears knitted ring gear to the ring has to be pretty confident.
Made by Jessica Troy herself. I don't actually know if that's true.
I'll just do a quick fact check.
Again, the crowd solely behind the champion here tonight.
And just has had enough. Or was that the plan all along?
That's a problem here, really, not for too long, or not at all, really, should you be turning your back upon the challenger, Ash by Elegance suffering the consequences. Jessica Troy needs to be careful looking at a potential early stoppage here. Arguing with the audience, arguing with the ref.
She's intense, she's passionate. She wants, you can't tell me if you weren't going for a title shot, you wouldn't be the same. You would not be laser focused and just eager to get it happening.
I think if I'm Jessica Troy, the one thing that I do not want is a disqualification. Now finally, locking up, true to her moniker, the arm collector herself, Jessica Troy, you know is going to be targeting that left arm, taps the right arm as well, just take away and soften up that extremity for future use.
Ash by Elegance, known to be somewhat of a powerhouse, able to easily reverse it, and now it's Jessica Troy who's coming to arm's way. I said arm's way.
I heard you.
Why didn't you laugh?
I acknowledge. That's more than it needs. Oh my goodness! In a rare counter you see there. Ash by Elegance also targeting the arm, wrenching it down upon the ground. Troy taking a moment on the outside.
The audience trying to get under a skin by chanting chicken. But again, Jessica Troy disrupting Ash by Elegance momentum. Getting back in the ring when she feels like it. And taking back control of the match.
10 counts to a point here, and now a baseball slide. Ash by Elegance clearly having enough of the short break, the timeout, the intermission as it were. Coming straight for a quick victory here for the champion. 1 count.
Just looking a little bit surprised there.
I think both women were quite surprised at that. Whipped it to the corner. Troy looking to regain control. Flipped over to the outside.
Wow. Straight to the chin.
Ash having a scout at it, and now Troy having a scout at it. Vicious.
Oh, in between the ropes, surely not. Oh!
No.
Oh! Not only has she had her back slam against those ropes, but then her throat came up and knocked off the top.
I'm going to say functionally a back breaker, but the aftermath very much a neck breaker.
Just what a technical mind on Jessica Troy, really. Really.
Troy is a technician in her own right. She understands how to pick apart a body, how to take an aspect of the human body, wear it down, work it into oblivion before going for that submission victory. Oh my goodness, case in point here, she might be looking to dislocate the shoulder. Or the elbow or the wrist, it really could go anywhere.
I mean, I think the main thing there is...
Oh my goodness! Oh!
Oh, I don't think arms are supposed to bend that way, Sean.
The hyperextension there. Good grief. That elbow potentially going the opposite way. I will ask that we don't replay that, but you got the picture.
And of course, if you have a weakened, numb-feeling arm, you cannot move it. Ash by Elegance is helpless there in the middle of the turnbuckle, while Jessica just chops the living daylights out of her.
This is not exactly the Jessica Troy of old, but this is very much a self-confident Potentially overconfident Jessica Troy, who's now suffering the wrath of the champion. Getting some receipt, but cut to the quick. Jessica Troy regaining control with a brutal clothesline.
And enough's enough. You got that closed fist. She's got her shoulders down. Kick out by Ash by Elegance. And Jessica Troy is almost had enough, you would feel.
Man, this is that ferocity, that passion that you were talking about that Jessica Troy exudes. Feeling the vicious chops.
I mean, you can see the red there.
Getting straight back onto the left side. Fingers going all the way to good Lord.
Oh, Sean, you may have to watch the rest of this by yourself. I don't know how much more I can take.
I want to
God.
thank the camera person for that close-up there. Clearly seeing just the left heart of the hand side of Ash is being picked apart.
No, don't. I know you're trying to get your feeling back there, Ash, but do not put your arm up for her. No! Oh my God!
Right there, you're exactly right. Troy saw the weakness, saw the opportunity.
You got to ask yourself, when does the ref stop this? Like, really, you're looking at legitimate damage to the champion.
Now, unfortunately, this is an instance where, for the most part, it is up to the competitor. It is up to how much Elegance, Ash by Elegance, wants to maintain hold of that title. How much is she willing to endure to keep hold?
And look at that now, every block is causing her pain. Her offense is basically being cut in half because she can't use her arms effectively anymore. All that strength that we were talking about earlier has just been sapped away by Jessica Troy's almost sniper-like ability to work and manipulate joints.
Oh, be careful there with the arm! Even though Ash by Elegance is a right-hander, you can see she keeps shaking that left arm as well. You're still having to utilize your body. Every moment jars that part of your arm. You have to be running on adrenaline at this point. You are looking to ignore the pain, ignore the work. But if you're Jessica Troy, you know you have begun an injury. You know you have found a weakness in your opponent. And best believe you me, she will be exploiting that going forward.
More so than we've already seen?
More so, heading up to that Fujiwara armbar.
And there we go. Once again, that arm comes into play.
Looking to snap that arm in half. Not quite in the middle of the ropes, but Ash is still a long ways to go.
Just now grabbing that ankle, trying to stop her. Rope break. Got the count of 5. Got the count of 5. Jess is going to use every single microsecond of that count before she breaks that hold. Of course, causing a disqualification means she does not get the title.
Exactly right. Now she's arguing with the referee. This is where Jessica Troy needs to be careful. At that moment, Ash was able to use her right hand to grab the ropes. What if Jess starts targeting the other arm? It even takes away your ability to just grab the ropes to stop the submission.
Ash going up top.
Oh, wow!
Rarefied air.
Rarefied air.
That could be it.
Wait, look, I thought...
Lena Kross.
I was shocked there because assuredly that was the victory. Oh, my God! Lena Kross, and there you go, there's the bell. We talked about his qualification. I assumed that was going to be coming from Troy. Out of nowhere, Ben. Ash by Elegance had that match won. The rarefied air coming out of nowhere.
Lena Kross certainly making her presence known here this evening.
Not sure if Jessica Troy even understands what's happened yet. Still on the ground, on the inside.
Oh, I think she knows. I think she knows her partner, Lena Kross, has just saved her butt.
To be clear, Ash by Elegance is still the WSW Women's Champion, but it's not looking like that at the moment.
No, this is looking like a beatdown. This is like sending a message.
The mugging, Ben. Hold on. Santana Garrett coming into the ring for the rescue. Jumping onto Jessica Troy. And now a 2-on-2 affair. This is not a match. This is a straight-up brawl.
Well, the bell's gone numerous times. This is no longer sanctioned. They're going to have to get someone else out here to break these guys apart.
Santana now has the granola grappler up on the stage. Ash by Elegance finally fighting back against Lena Kross. Unfortunately, Women's Championship bout has ended in disqualification, not the way that we would intend it.
Not the way I was hoping to see the second half of the 20th anniversary World Series Wrestling Legacy go off.
Oh my God. Watch out! Oh! My goodness! A massive boot from Kross. Intentions clear. I remember Adelaide. I remember what you put me through, Ash, and I want your title again.
Just stalking it. Oh! Vicious kick.
Shades of June last year in the Most Wanted tour.
And Ash quickly scurrying away. You got to believe that her arms would be singing. Lena in hot pursuit. Look at that impact. And Lena, knowing the damage she's caused, straight down the camera and says, yeah, I want that title.
You know, we saw, and as we saw earlier, the violence spilling to the outside between the Parea and the Bollywood boys. And of course, that is leading up to this moment here as we are putting the WSW Tag Team Championships on the line. The Parea putting them up against the Bollywood boys here tonight. Here we are, Arvin Gerv, Sierra, the Bollywood boys making their debut here at World Series Wrestling, reunited once again with the Maharaja early tonight, looking to claim championship gold here in Australia.
And you got to wonder which team's been more impacted by that brawl we saw earlier during the street fight. Are the Parea at 100%? Are the Bollywood boys at 100%? We don't know what happened backstage. We don't know how long that fight continued.
Honestly, I don't know if we're going to be able to get them to the ring at this point. They might just party into Melbourne for the rest of the night. Yeah, both team members know how to electrify a crowd. Paying homage to their Punjabi Indian heritage with the Bhangra dance. Bollywood boys, where are they?
Look for the people jumping around, and there they
They're
are.
all jumping around. Everyone's on their feet. There you can see Gerb there in the foreground. Harv is somewhere in the sea of the Melbourneites. A pre-celebration, as it were, Ben.
Any celebration is a good celebration. I don't know what that means, but I just felt like I need to say something.
This is the calm before the storm. Cannot understate.
Storm? No, they're going against the Parea. This is good. The calm before the bloody typhoon.
We cannot understate the power, the sheer magnitude of the challenge that is before the Bollywood boys here tonight. The party now, but soon they will have to contend with the Parea. World Series Wrestling Tag Team Champions, mainstays over the last few years of the World Series Wrestling Tour.
And Eli Thesios from Adelaide, South Australia, now residing in the United States to make a play at the big time. And let me tell you, they're making quite the impact. We've seen them on ROH. We've seen them on AEW. Look at the arms of Gabriel, really. Look at that. You talk about a Greek goddess chiseled out of marble.
You know, it usually feels like a pumping nightclub when the Parea come out. There's just a slight edge to them tonight, more so than usual. You see the seriousness, the tone has shifted somewhat. These men mean business. This is going to be an absolutely electrifying affair. I spoke too soon, the nightclub's here.
Tag titles are on the line, Sean. You can have fun and games. You can show that you are carefree and your opponents aren't a cause for concern. But deep down, these two are auteures at wrestling. They know it all. They know the technicality. They know the mind games. They know the athleticism that goes into this to be number one, to be one of the most up and going tag teams in the world.
Parea still relatively young in their careers here. The sky is the limit for these two men. Big Bollywood fans down here in Melbourne. For 532 days, the Parea have called themselves the World Series Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The Bollywood Boyz are looking to knock them off the top of the mountain, off the top of Mount Olympus, and for the very first time, playing Tag Team Championship gold here in Australia. Oh, hold on! Looking to gain that early advantage here. Gervin Harb having it scouted and straight on to the Parea. Match hasn't even started, Ben.
I was about to say the bell hasn't rung, anything's legal. Referee asking him to start.
Hold on, Dhesi, no, clothesline! Double damage!
And it looks like we've got, no, I was about to say we've got our starters, but no, we don't.
Harb in the ring to start off things.
Has the bell rung?
Not yet. Harb coming off with an axe handle smash to the outside. And things have just gone absolutely bonkers here in the pavilion.
That's the stakes. The World Series Wrestling Tag Team Championships are up for grabs. This is how much it means to these four men.
The curve with Eli Thesis and a little boy! A little boy with the chop!
I would say that that's cause for disqualification, but the match hasn't started yet.
Asking for it again! Oh my God! Pre-match snap. Eli trying to go after. What now we need to draw a line somewhere. On the other side, Gabriel Eros and Harb Sierra. At some point, we need some legal men to begin this. Eli's either trying to escape or trying to go after the fans.
Little from column A, little from column B.
Good grief. It's the entire Melbourne Pavilion against Eli Theseus.
We've got Eli in the ring now.
The bell has started. Gerv Sierra and Eli Theseus to begin things, and now we're back out, but now everything's legal.
Well, they got a 10 count.
No, okay, oh my God.
Jesus.
Two slaps from Shrek. No! Can't unmask Shrek! Gabriel Eros! Oh! What is happening? Shrek! Combined with the Bollywood Boyz! The Bollywood Ogres!
I don't want to be here anymore.
We have a strength chart here at World Series Wrestling. Now, Sierra in the ring, a bit of decorum, a bit of control now. All right, we have a tag team title match that has begun.
Quick tags, in and out. From Harv and Gerv, that's the way you stay fresh. That's the way you wear down your opponent. Tag team wrestling, there's such a science to it. If you can make quick tags, if you can quickly recuperate, but you can single out your opponent and wear them down while you still maintain relatively, fresh, you're gonna win. You're gonna take those titles home.
Absolutely, there's a completely different psychology to two competitors who are normally singles competitors and find themselves in a team. As much as they were ferocious and deadly combatants, the team of Warbeard, the team of Eric Redbeard and Mike Basso were still primarily singles competitors. You have a team like the Bollywood Boys who have been a tag team from the start. That puts them in formidable company against the champions.
Eli now trying to, with a whip, it was countered. I think it was a small little kick there that cut him off.
See now just jockeying for position here. With a suplex, Sierra now going for the quick pinfall in the center of the ring.
Take more than that to count out Eli.
I think I could see Harv there making the motions towards his tag team partner, but cuts the quick by Theseus. There you go, that's the problem with a tag team affair. You need to have eyes in the back of your head.
Gabriel just coaching Eli on the side here.
That's
telling
it.
him to have
Keep
a jolly
going.
good time. Oh, brutal shots to the midsection. Look at that. Look at that impact.
They're working the Sierra brother.
There's one thing the Parea are great at. It's psychology. It's getting under their opponent's skin so they make mistakes. They're a little bit out of sorts because of the start there.
And again, for the second time tonight, the dreaded Wanker chant. Now a solid shot, repeated in kind. Gabriel Eros just on top. Tag into Eli Theseus. As you mentioned, now residing in the United States, the Parea looking to take their special brand of violence across the seas to the United States of America.
I'd say artful. You can't have bodies like that and be violent thugs.
Oh.
It's an art form.
Just that brute strength preventing Harv from making the tag to Gervin now. Vicious spine buster for his troubles.
Plants him firmly in the middle of the ring. And now they're going to slow it down to their pace.
Speaking of a dance, speaking of a party.
Just adding insult in, and this is how they get under their skin. Again with the showboating, beautiful elbow drop right into the heart of Harv.
You can see Gerv almost afraid there of a 3 count coming halfway into the ring. Just think about the Parea, unlike the Bollywood Boys. Now the Bollywood Boys are brothers, yes. The Parea are almost closer than brothers.
I was going to say,
bonded by war.
They are exactly right. They are brothers by blood. The Parea chose this craft. They chose this life, and they've dedicated themselves to each other to be the best tag team in the world. And they are well on the way there, as you can tell by holding the World Series Wrestling Tag Team Champions for over 520 days.
That's it, 532 days to be exact. The Parea have held these titles. The Parea slowly and very surely coming upon 10 years in the industry here. Bollywood Boys, 19 and 20 years respectively. While there is an experience difference here, that is to say nothing against the Parea, who again have not even entered their prime of their career currently. And there's Shrek. Hold on, roll up. Not even a 1 count. There, Gabriel Eros playing mind games with Gerv on the outside.
Stepping on his throat. technically that's a pin. Michael Kent should have been counting there.
It's also a choke at the same time, which is where Gabriel needs to be careful. But of course, even on a disqualification, they will retain the titles. Again, this is the second of 3 title matches being contested tonight. Of course, later on in our main event, we will have Nic Nemeth defending the world title against the broski himself, Matt Riddle.
Oh, cheap shot by Eli, but so smart.
Nerf knocked out on the apron here, and just a complete disrespect from Eli Thesis, again finding ways to get into the head of the Bollywood Boyz. Takes a boot for his trouble, now looking for that swinging DDT!
Oh!
Supplanted on his head, Theseus is down! Harv is down, both men down! Desperately needing a tag!
He's a long way from home. It's going to take a mighty effort to not only get past the downed Eli, but to make the tag to Gerv.
Gerv almost jumping out of his boots here, screaming for the tag. Harv barely moves though.
Eli slowly getting, it's going to be who gets there first.
I was going to say, the question is, do you go for your tag partner or do you stop your opponent? Gerv comes in, Gabriel over the top.
Oh,
solid lariat. Gerv absolutely mopping the floor with Gabriel Eros into the corner. 3, 4. My goodness, just smushing Gabriel's face into each individual turnbuckle.
Just bouncing his head off like a basketball. Gabriel doesn't know where he is. You can see that glazed look on his eye as you get a neck breaker for your troubles.
Neck breaker in the center of the ring, and now Gerv signaling to go up high. Coming his way to the top, potentially for an elbow drop. Gabriel having it scouted. Saving himself.
Scouted or just relying on instinct?
Once you get this deep into the match, one kind of bleeds into the other at this point. Running on pure adrenaline, on muscle memory, on the idea that your tag team partner is just a few feet away from you. Gerv says absolutely not. Coming forward, elbow drop, connected! Straight into the chest. 2! Oh no! Gabriel Eros suffering 2 elbow drops.
What have we got here? Is a sharpshooter?
Double sharpshooter!
No! That's add insult to injury. Both Eli and Gabriel are forced to look at each other as they struggle. Their titles are on the line.
Of course, both men, originally from Canada, from the British Columbia, shades of Bret Hart. Well, I can't even remember who's the legal man. I think it's Gabriel.
Again, the Bollywood Boyz using their 5 count to add that extra bit of tension on the lower backs of the Parea.
Of course, just as a reminder, it is indeed Gerv and Gabriel Eros who are the legal men currently. Not sure if Gerv is aware. Eli Theseus stalking from behind. Hold on! 190 Mykonos!
That's it.
Oh!
How? How does he kick out of that?
Honestly, I thought the Parea had retained the titles there and then. And again now, blaming the referee. Gabriel has to keep that temper in check here.
Eli calming him down, reminding him what's at stake here. It's not a problem, they just have to do it again.
That's it at the moment. Harv is still on the outside, still incapacitated. The Parea are still well and truly in control of proceedings here.
Eli now the legal man.
Gerv just being dragged onto his feet. We saw this earlier. Delivered to the Maharaja. Wait a minute! Harv's here on the outside.
Not going to roll up in the ring.
Small package. Oh my God!
What?
Small package. The Bollywood boys have just upset the Parea. Days have come to an end as the Bollywood boys claim gold from the Parea.
I am speechless. But fair play to the Bollywood boys. They kept their heads. They kept that cool throughout the entirety of the match. We spoke about the Parea trying to get under their skin, but the Bollywood boys would not allow them.
It is potentially where cooler heads needed to prevail. Dhesi taking a moment to try and simmer down his tag team partner, giving Harv a moment to recuperate on the outside and at the right moment save his brother so that they can claim the gold. Your new WSW Tag Team Champions.
And now it is time for a celebration, Sean.
Garrett and Harv Sira, the Bollywood boys have finished night one holding tag team gold. The trick now
Is keeping it.
is holding on to it. Let's look back at how this took place here tonight. Of course, we see one night of Mykonos almost had it done, Gabriel, but then taken out and a small package later, and we have new tag team champions. That's just night one, and you know what? We still have one match to go. It is main event time, Ben.
The World Series Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Nic Nemeth, is going to be put on the line against Matt Riddle. I gotta say, my money's on Matt Riddle. Not only is he an accomplished wrestler, he is a multi-winner. Was it 8-3 in MMA? An amazing combatant, and certainly someone more than capable of holding that title.
Of course, former UFC fighter, Matt Riddle, sorry. Both these men have had interesting trajectories from the moment that they left the WWE. Both men winning New Japan Championship gold on the same night. Accolades upon accolades. Matt Riddle, he is the current MLW World Heavyweight Champion, former US Champion, Tag Champion, 10 years as a pro wrestler, even longer if you include his UFC career. This man has a pedigree longer than anyone else that currently resides in World Series Wrestling. Unless, perhaps, you consider his opponent.
I was about to say, let's not ignore the man holding the gold at the moment.
He is the most wanted man, Nic Nemeth, former TNA champion, former AAA Mega Champ, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a 20-year veteran of this fine sport.
And I'll have you know, quite a stand-up comedian.
And as you see, strapped around his waist, the current reigning, defending World Series Wrestling World Champion.
Now, Nic Nemeth won that title all the way last year in Adelaide. You and I were there, Sean. We saw the absolute controversy. Yes, controversy around that win. I mean, we were all happy at the time, but going back now, he didn't pin the then champ Mark Cardona, did he? Did he, Sean?
We will say that there was a surrogate, a replacement utilized for an injured Matt Cardona, who placed Hammerstone as a very last-minute replacement. Nic Nemeth took the challenge. Nic Nemeth overcame the challenge, and that is why we have a championship belt around his waist currently.
But if Nic Nemeth was any type of, honourable individual. He would give that title back to Matt Cardona. Now that Matt Cardona is fighting fit at 125%.
I am. Lest we forget.
This is your World Series Wrestling main event. This match is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the World Series Wrestling World Championship. Introducing first to our epic challenger from Las Vegas, Nevada, is the King of Introducing to my left, from Cleveland, Ohio, he is your World Series Wrestling World Champion, the Lion Man, Nic
Again, 20 years in the business, Nic Nemeth has seen it all. Nic Nemeth has done it all.
20 years in the business and 20 years of World Series Wrestling as we present to you Legacy, your main event. The champion Nic Nemeth going up against the legit pro, Matt Riddle.
We want to thank you all again who have tuned in live to watch us on Triller TV. Of course, this is night one of just 4. After Melbourne, we head to Brisbane, then to Adelaide, and then to Sydney. There are so many more matchups to come, potentially a lot more championship matches. By the end of the tour, your champion may not be Nic Nemeth or Matt Riddle. But for now, we can only go so far. For now, it comes down to the end of night one. Will your champion be the wanted man, or will it be the legit pro?
Two sizing each other up. Nick going for the leg, no, just teasing it.
Cannot discount the amateur background of Nic Nemeth. See,
Locking out, oh,
my goodness.
and Matt Riddle there. I think that was more of a one-upmanship than it was a legitimate technique to try and get the upper hand.
I really am unsure who comes out on top in a straight-up wrestling match. In a ground game, who has the upper hand? Got that amateur background against that mixed martial arts style. Both men so dangerous.
Riddle going in.
Coming
Oh,
forward,
damn it.
pinfall!
Quickly back on through the headlock and a pin. My goodness.
Nic Nemeth, so quick. You see, they're pretty good, Matt Riddle says.
I don't know how he does it, but Matt Riddle just always seems really calm. Just really relaxed, just happy to be here.
The problem, and it rarely happens, but the problem is if you see that demeanor change, it rarely happens.
Oh! Big
Oh,
takedown into an armbar. Does he have it? No.
Nemeth is holding for dear life against his other arm, that monkey grip employed. And a surefire way to break your arm.
Trying to release some of the tension off that shoulder, rolling around.
And you can see there how
Oh,
close.
we got pinned, we got pinned.
You can see how close Nemeth was to the ropes, but he simply couldn't give up the hold on his other arm.
Unlike an MMA competition, like you can't just roll on your back and hope to muscle out of it. Your shoulders are down, that's a pin, whether you're in the advantage or not. That's it. That's game over. You've got to be thinking 2-3 steps ahead. You've got to be thinking where all your body parts are, not just the ones that hurt.
There's the pure understanding. Going for that.
Oh! Ducking a super kick.
Going for that cutter, recalling a time with a certain killer.
Killer or a snake?
In any case, it was out of nowhere. Matt Riddle, Nic Nemeth seemingly having done their homework plenty on each other. WSW World Heavyweight title.
Oh, and Nemeth resulting to a more of what we're used to seeing in this type of competition with a swift elbow to the back of the head to get the advantage.
Hold on!
Oh!
Caught with a triangle! He caught Nemeth in mid-air, flipping him over.
And I honestly thought he was going to put it on while they were both on the ropes.
Nemeth not only gaining an incredible amount of height, the fact that Riddle caught him. Gigantic, I was going to say boot, just a big foot. Straight to the face, the chin of Nemeth.
I don't know what Riddle's doing here, whether he's sizing him up or showboating or, eating some canvas. That's what he's doing.
These two men have met up several times in tag team action, in rumbles. Very rarely have they had the opportunity to go one-on-one. Very surprising for the amount of times that these two men have been in each other's circles.
And we saw there Nemeth rolling in, breaking up the count, rolling out. Perhaps a mistake because it allowed Riddle to get the upper hand and then belt him with those devastating roundhouse kicks.
Imagine getting walloped in the face by the shin of a former UFC fighter. Now taken to the skies.
Oh, well, imagine being drop kicked out of midair by a former WWE champion.
Nemeth having it scouted, pitching out of desperation, but it gives him ample time to gain at least a bit of an advantage back, if not a bit of time to breathe.
I don't know if you can see it there, Sean, but
yes,
it looks like Nic Nemeth's got a cut on top of his head.
Said the hair slowly going from blonde to red. It's hard to tell exactly where he may have gone. It could have been anywhere. And Nemeth, I think Nemeth knows he has the blood there, but he's simply choosing to ignore it. Has to be a gash right on the top of the forehead of Nemeth.
Could have been anything. Could have been when he was belted to the outside. It could have been an elbow to the top of the head. One thing's for sure, that amount of blood dripping down into your eyes, it's going to hurt, it's going to sting, it's going to impair your vision. It's a distraction. It means the champ could be in trouble.
And here comes the problem. We talk about a 4-night tour. You might get through this match. You might staple it up. You have to wrestle the very next night.
You've got a target on you.
Coming forward for the big elbow. Riddle wisely rolling out the way. Matt Riddle again going to the well with those strikes, the chops, the kicks.
Oh, vicious elbow. And while the blood may be a target, while the blood may be a point of concern, it's also a motivator. Nothing makes you, excuse the pun, no, don't excuse the pun, see red more than a gash to your face.
You have to say that if nothing more, it just inspires Nemeth even further as well, just to keep driving, to do worse to his opponent.
And here comes a flurry of elbow drops right on the chest of Matt Riddle. You've got to believe you hit that heart enough times with enough force, you could cause permanent damage. You can make that heart skip a beat, and all of a sudden,
right hook to the knee of a thigh.
No, that was to his dick.
Well, I want to assume it was unintentional, but it is hard to really put in words how incredible it is that Nemeth moves the way he does. It's a 20-year career. The man is 44 years old and moves just as quick now as he did in 2005.
When you're at the top of the game, you have to stay in top physical perfection. And look at this!
Gaining ultimate leverage. Matt Riddle actually not far behind at 39 years old. Jumping from sport to sport, from mixed martial arts to professional wrestling.
You can see Riddle locking in that chin on the joint of Nic Nemeth there, trying to get him to release any kind of tension from this headlock.
Other way around, but I get your point.
What did I say?
You said Riddle had the headlock.
I'm sorry, I'm just so... Yeah. I can't...
It would not shock me that Riddle could get a headlock from this position.
Yeah, it's just disappointing matches like this that I have to call them because I'd like to sit here and just watch it. Honestly. I got a job to do. I've been paid. I have to do this. But all I want to do is sit down and watch some goddamn wrestling like this.
You know, you can see here now is that blood continuing to.
Oh!
Just a mess of hair. But honestly, at this point, I think the color of Nemeth's chest is about to join the fray and become red too. The body is being beaten down.
Oh, they just don't stop.
Honestly, Nemeth's entire body is turning a shade of crimson. Riddle trying to gather steam there, and Nemeth with some dirty elbows straight into that trap.
Necessary elbows. Riddle replying with one of his own. Up top.
Oh my God!
Corkscrew moonsault.
Oh! 2.5! The floating bro from the top to a standing Nemeth.
Now as Riddle, I'd be jumping back on straight away. Nemeth's going to be feeling dizzy. That amount of blood loss, you wouldn't be thinking straight. Riddle should be jumping on it now and cutting off as much oxygen as he can, because then stuff like this happens.
Oh, Nemeth goading Riddle into a kick there, almost getting the pinfall victory.
Oh! Riddle's got him! Counter! Sunset flip!
2!
Oh!
Oh,
101! That's it!
One arm draped over, champion on the line! It seems like every time one of these two competitors gets an ounce, a smidgen of momentum, he gets cut off.
Gosh, Sean, I'm out of breath.
Both men flat on their backs, energy spent, bodies battered, bruised, in pain. The crowd here in the Melbourne Pavilion willing them on.
Cardona has every right to be out here. He was never pinned.
He can have his chance later. Get him out of here. We've got a main event to contend with. Hold on! Famouser! Nemeth with a Famouser to distracted Riddle. Oh my God! A momentary distraction by...
Oh, what's he doing out here now? He has no right being out here.
Explain yourself.
Cardona has every right to be out here because Cardona was never pinned to lose his title. Raj wasn't even in Australia when Cardona lost his title. Why is he out here?
Who was the man that pinned Matt Cardona earlier tonight?
I don't remember.
The Maharaja Dhesi out here to ensure a fair match, to ensure that Cardona does not get involved. Double clothesline on the inside. Matt Riddle, Nic Nemeth. Now just stalking each other. Oh my God.
Cardona's not having any of it. Telling Raj to get back where he belongs, out in the back.
Yeah, we're
sitting down, take a shower.
This is the combustible element here. It's about to pop off.
Cardona telling him, it's my championship, you have no right, and he's absolutely correct.
Wait! Wait, I mean, spilling into the ring now. Cardona! Raj Dhesi!
Oh!
They're not a part of this match. They had theirs earlier, yet the action continues forth. I mean, this match is still going.
This match is still going, but Cardona quickly trying to get away from those brutal blows of the Maharaja.
And now, just like that, they're gone. WSW World Championship on the line. Riddle, Matt Riddle, scouting Nemeth. Cutter!
Good enough for you, champ.
One! It's over!
Oh! Wow! Nic Nemeth digging deep, and you've got to believe using the last of his reserves of strength to kick out of that huge cutter. Riddle can't believe it either,
Well,
but he's setting him up.
Glad to see it here again. That floating bro, now to a downs Nemeth. Wait! Calling an audible midair. Hold on! Bro Derek! Ben, it's a Bro Derek!
No, it's not! It's a roller! He's got it!
Matt Riddle! Inches away! The disappointment etched upon Matt Riddle's face says it all. He believed he had the match surely won. And as sure as I'm talking, Nic Nemeth knew it too. With a chance, flash, roll up, Nic Nemeth was able to secure the title, secure his defense. Here at the Melbourne Pavilion, for night one of our Legacy Tour for World Series Wrestling, Nic Nemeth can still call himself World Champion. And there you can see amazing showmanship.
An awkward show of showmanship.
What an incredible main event. What an incredible night here. Matt Riddle and Nic Nemeth closing out the show for us with a tremendous match. And you know, that is Melbourne, Ben.
That is Melbourne.
Tomorrow, we are heading off to Brisbane.
We are indeed. You'll see us tomorrow night in Brisbane at Eaton's Hills Grand Ballroom in Brisbane, where we bring you night 2 of the World Series Wrestling Legacy Tour. 20 years! 20 years, Sean! Can you believe it?
And we want to thank you so much as we look back upon the night that was. Until next time, until we hit night 2 of the Legacy Tour here for World Series Wrestling, my name is Sean Thomas.
I'm Benjamin Rosenthal.
Thank you and good night.